Hello, River Landing. Back in the mid-90s, Baylor University, home to the #1 ranked undefeated men's basketball team, set out to name the most effective preachers in the English-speaking world. They surveyed everyone, examined hundreds of sermons. One professor of preaching actually sent in his own sermon when asked to identify effective preaching. They eventually named the 12 most effective preachers in the English-speaking world. You would recognize some of the names: James Forbes, Will Willimon, Barbara Brown Taylor, and noted author Chuck Swindoll, to name 4. They invited them all, but one at a time, to come to campus that year to preach in 2 chapel services and a community service. I was serving a church in Waco at the time, so I was thrilled. I met them all. On the Monday evening before Chuck Swindoll was to speak at the seminary chapel service the next morning, I got a call from the dean, who was a member of my church and on my personnel committee. He said, "Ken, Chuck has had a family emergency and can't be here tomorrow. Can you preach the chapel service?" I said, "Brad, ministers are going to be coming from a 100-mile radius to hear Chuck Swindoll, and they are going to get Ken Massey instead. How do you spell disappointment?" He said, "Well, I'm kind of in a bind and I'm kind of on your personnel committee." "I'd love to, Brad. See you in the morning." At 10 a.m., he stood to welcome the crowd, informed them about Chuck, and then he introduced me as one of the 12 most available preachers in the English-speaking world. It was a great line, but it wasn't until after the service that it became more than a quip. When it comes to the spiritual life, there's nothing more important than being available. Expertise is nice. Giftedness is important. Experience is helpful. But none of that matters if you're not available to God and neighbor. I wonder if in this new year you might also be named one of the most available grandparents in the world. One of the most available friends, or encouragers, or neighbors, or listeners. Available. Can I put you on that list this year? Blessings to you.